Right, time for some science. Moving on from the body thing that you did yesterday. Now, I've just had a look on Tapestry at the ones that are uploaded, so I've liked the ones that I noticed. I'll look at them again and comment on them properly later. But there's loads on there. Your body pictures look amazing, by the way. Now, what we're going to do today, we'll look at some parts to do with the top part of our body. And this part up here is our head, okay? Now, the things that you came up with that are in the head. So, lots of you put down your eyes. And what was interesting is one of you told me that your eyes can open and close. And you said that your eyes for seeing, which is true, isn't it? Someone was showing me, but this might freak you out, when you look inside your eyes, because they've drawn something all over their body, lots of lines, that there are red bits in there. So we might explore the eyes at some point during our topic work on the body. You talked about your nose, and you drew your mouth, and some of you even drew the teeth inside the mouth. And one of you was able to tell me that your teeth, you would use those to eat, and then when you've eaten, you swallow, and then it goes in your throat. So that's another good thing to do with the top part of our body. And then you said it went in the stomach, and if it was a drink, it would come out as wee. I quite like some of the boys' drawings as well. Right, and then you you drew the ears, you drew your tongue, some of you did your hair, one of you did your forehead. Okay, we can talk about that as well. Some of you mentioned there were bones in your head, and one puffin has put down this word called the skull. So we might look at that later, or skull, obviously. Quite a few of you remembered that inside here is your brain, and someone had labelled that in here is where it helps them feel happy or sad. I thought that was quite clever too. So we'll have a look at different parts together, starting with some parts of the head, okay? Right, so let's start with our eyes and the kind of shape when you draw them. Now, I know the eyes are below our forehead, so the forehead is the part that is above this part of the body that I don't think anyone's labelled. What do we call these bits here? They're your eyebrows above your eyes. Now what I'm going to get you to do, I'm going to get you to watch a video about your eyes. First of all, it's quite a proper science video. It doesn't last very long, but you'll hear lots of science words to do with your eyes. You might be able to tell me what the different parts of your eyes are called and find out about how we see. So if you watch the video first of all in the link below, and then come back to this, okay? Now, if you've watched that video, you would have heard some brilliant science words. Can you shout any out for me? Can I hear you say some of the science words? What did you find? Okay, so we found out that there's a pupil in the eye, that your eye's got a lens, and there's a retina in there, and there's one part of your eye is called the iris, and that how you see is all to do with light coming off objects and reflecting into your eyes, so that we need the light to see. So I'm going to try and label my eyes with some of these science words. Okay, so maybe on a piece of paper you could have a go at drawing your eyes. What you could do is look in the mirror so you can see the shape, and then have a go at writing. So what we got the pupil, and they said it was like a hole in the eye, wasn't it, that lets the light in. And then inside the pupil you do have a lens, don't you, which help the light focus, which helps you see, and it sends, with the retina, sends messages to your brain. So that's important, isn't it? It's those messages that help you see. And then the colour part around your pupil is called the iris, and that had a clever job, didn't it? That it would make your pupils go bigger or smaller depending on how much light there was. So that's something that you might have found out about your eyes this afternoon. And so our eyes, also while I think of it, they told us as well, didn't they? Showed us the red lines inside the eyes, which one of the puffins mentioned. And what did they say they were called? Remember? I'm going to put that on mine as well. I just draw some little lines in there. They said they were blood vessels. You even have blood in your eyes. Now, when you see something, we call that one of our senses, which we say is sight. So our eyes help us have one of the senses of our body, because there are 5. You have 5 senses. Sight to do with your eyes. What do you think the nose is for? Yeah, to smell. You've got your tongue. That's for, what do you think that's for? It's for tasting. And then your ears do a job. Yeah, that's to hear things. And then actually your skin, your hands. What do you think this is about? It's about touch. It's how you feel things around you when you touch stuff. So when with our eyes with sight, let's think about doing some science on sight this afternoon. And now we found out about how it's light that goes in our eyes to make us see. Okay, have you done that? What did you find out? You could test it even further by still having a blindfold on and try and draw a picture, and then take your blindfold off and draw the same picture next to it. Is it easy with the blindfold on? Is it easier with it off? Do you think the light helps you see? What happens with the blindfold on? What does that do with the light? So you could try that one next if you want to. Go and pause. And then another thing you could try is to see, are 2 eyes better than 1, okay? Because if you do this, you can still see, can't you? So if anyone had ever lost their eyesight in one eye, they still can see. Cover up. But is it clearer with 2 eyes or 1? And there are things that you could do. You could try covering up one eye and try picking things up. Or they say, like, if you hold some things as far out as you possibly can, and then you try and put them together using both eyes open and touch, and then if you get someone to cover up one eye, can you then put the same objects together again? Is it just as easy? Is it harder? And then cover up the other eye. So have a go at seeing if 2 eyes are better than 1. And try that. And then pause. And then just to finish off this afternoon, I'll look at this science book, which has information about the eye. And then next week, what we'll do is we'll do a different part of our head or face in the morning and in the afternoon, so we can explore as much as we possibly can. So here's a picture. Remember what the black bit was called? It's the pupil. What was the coloured part? Remember? Yeah, your iris. And then, oh look, we haven't talked about these, but what have we got on here? These little hairy bits. What are they? Yeah, your eyelashes. And what are your eyelashes for, do you know? What do you think they're for? Are they there to make you look pretty? Now they're there. What they do is they stop dust and dirt from blowing into your eyes. So they actually have an important job. Can you see in this picture as well? What do you think this is here? Yeah, tears. So when you feel sad and you cry, you get tears from your eyes, don't you? Okay. Now this eye, look, is blue in colour around the pupil, isn't it? The iris. What colour are your eyes? Have a look at all the people in your family. Do you all have the same eyes? So that's something you could go and find out, because different people have different colour eyes. Alright. Now once you've had a look at that, and we'll see what colour eyes people have, this is a diagram, look, of what the inside's like. So you've got your blood vessels again. So that is our eye. but there's a muscle there as well. And that holds your eyeball and helps it move around. Oh, did you know all of that was inside your eye? Right, Puffins, I'm going to go and do the story. So next week we'll look at some of the other parts of our body. See you later.